Yo, hey, yo.
Woo!
Starting
Please.
off, shots fired.
Hopefully that didn't hurt my phone, but I think we're good. Welcome in, everybody. Hope you had a great weekend. I have had increasingly better weekends as we inch closer and closer to Banks It 2021.
Banks it.
That's what I'm labeling it. That's what you'll see the news running with it.
That's what you've already branded. You've made shirts to sell.
Yes. Yeah, there's a lot going on with it. But also, yes, shout out to the CEO. I thought this would be more visible, but of course, like mosquitoes. See that there?
As always.
May have to get my citronella bands out before all is said and done. But thank you for joining us. Tyler, how are you doing on this Monday? How was your weekend?
It wasn't too bad. Yeah, did a little bit of stuff around the house, a little bit of lounging around. Oh, no, not bad. Like I told you before the show, saw that new Jason Statham movie. Would give a recommendation.
Ricky Verona.
Ricky Verona. No, there was significantly less comedy than there was in either of the Crank movies in this movie, but still high recommendation if you like revenge movies or heist movies, or I guess Jason Statham, because he plays the same character. He plays himself every time. So
that checks all three boxes for me. So
yeah, that's it. You're good
with that. I think I'm good with that.
Yeah, you're good. How was your weekend?
Weekend was good. Got in touch with all the mothers in my immediate circle here. My own mother. She received her gift on time. Thank you, Amazon. Thank you, Northwest. Got to see producer Tanaya's mother up in Orange County. Also nice. Shout out producer T and Mama T. And, of course, my sister. Hey, that one's always confusing to me because I'm like, forever you've been my sister. Like, oh, wait, you are a mom and actually have two kids. All right. It is Mother's Day.
She's a two-time mom, yeah.
So, yeah, two-time champion.
That's right.
So, shout out to all the moms. Hope you had a good Mother's Day. And today, shout out to Mexican Mother's Day for everyone that's celebrating today.
There we go. Dia de las Madres. I love it.
Exactly. Overall, a great weekend. A lot of good sports. UFC, was a fight night, but we did have the Canelo fight. That was nice. PGA, the Wells Fargo, it's kind of one of those upper middle tier type events. Quail Hall is always like one on the calendar. Not a major, but not a minor either.
Right. And the big names are going to show up for that one.
Yeah, the money's there, basically. I mean, they all got everyone was there at that meeting on Tuesday to basically get said, if you join the Super League, we'll kill you, or you're banned forever. Don't forget, you're banned forever. But so there was enough people there that the commissioner felt that an appropriate venue. So there you go. But a couple little odds and ends. We're getting close to the playoffs. The Lakers treading water,
limping. Yeah.
We'll see what happens there. If LeBron and AD are both healthy, then that's the team. But
unless they're playing the Kings,
that's their kryptonite.
Yeah.
And we'll see how it shakes out. And then they got the weird play-in game as well. So we will see where all that goes. Real quick at the beginning, you could see there have been some modifications to this is actually a free inaugural season shirt that was gifted to me before I became an actual owner investor. As we like to say on this program. So I have modified this, and I will continue to add more lines until the quality of play improves, until we get maybe a win, maybe even a tie. There's plenty more room. This is an XL shirt. You can go supposedly, maybe, possibly, someday. So I can push this out as far as it needs to go, Landon. I just want to see some freaking results. God.
Look, the shirt doesn't specify what they're there to play.
Yeah. Oh, man, we thought this was a volleyball game. That's where the confusion started. So maybe
some good old Argentinian rules volleyball, man.
That's just miscommunication from the top. Then again, I still blame you, Landon. It's about communication. Attitude starts with leadership, coach. So wise man once said. But on that note, actually, before we get too far into it, joining us on the hotline, this is the Corey's Market and Liquor Celebrity Hotline, Corey's Market and Liquor, 1422 University Avenue. Corey's Market and Liquor, we do check IDs. Also, we do have lotto, money orders, and EBT. We do accept EBT. So,
Beautiful.
joining us on the program, CEO Nick Barrios. Nick, how are we doing? It seems like I got you mid-bite here.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, well, first of all, Ronnie, how are you doing? I know you were kind of getting worked up over the Loyals, so how's your blood pressure doing?
It's not great. I have not been hospitalized again yet to this point.
Oh,
but
it's a horrible. Broke my heart.
One bad game, one terrible penalty, terrible clock management, whatever it is away. Like, use the subs. I don't know. Anything could trigger me at this point. So I prefer to not think about that. But yes, we've seen how very real the wear and tear of being invested in this team is. Like, this shirt was free, but all this stuff, no, it ain't. Where's my flag? Give me my flag. And then, I'm just going to come on one day and I'll just hang myself in my cell with the flag. And I'll leave a note that says, Ron was here. P.S. You did this, Landon.
Well, in this age, it wouldn't be P.S. It would be hashtag you did this, Landon. Get it
right,
trending.
yeah.
Get it trending.
Gotta get something trending. Yeah, exactly. That's how you really get messages across.
Anyway, how are we doing? How are you feeling about this Loyal thing? And then I want to just briefly hit basketball with you before we move on into other things.
The Loyal thing, I'm just like, season started. We're a few weeks away, like less than 2 weeks away from the home match. I'm hoping at least we can have maybe 500. At least be 500.
Like, the 500 is going to be probably unrealistic, and I get it. Look, they're starting on this road trip because USD, like I said, it's akin to the Spurs thing, where when the rodeo comes to San Antonio, they have to go on this like brutal road trip.
Yep.
I get that. Like, that, nobody likes that. But just like a point, maybe, like get a tie out there somewhere, like just something, like score a couple goals, more than 1 in 2 games. Like, that would be, we're not talking about Puyol back there. Like, it's goals to be had out there, boys. Like, let's just knock them in, push them over the line. Come on.
I mean, I could still push for the West Ham Loyals exhibition match, see where that goes. We are investors. We do have a say somewhat. So, kind of see where that goes. But, yeah, it's looking kind of rough now. I was like, man, like, we haven't had our first home match, and I'm already kind of regretting this.
Regretting it? No regrets.
Yeah. No regrets.
No regrets. Play like a champion.
Exactly. Not even one left.
I would just like to see, look, even if they, let's be real here. If they come in and they have not won a game, ideally, like, a point would be nice. But the Tacoma Defiance also, by the way, which is just a name that's like, come and take it. All right, respect. But
Tacoma Defiance, huh?
We ain't the ones. We ain't the ones right now. Landon's boy is a little too soft for that. But Louisville City FC, you're going a little bit across the country. I get it. But maybe
Thursday big game against the Sounders. The Sounders number 2 team.
That's the Tacoma Defiance.
Yep.
But just get some goals up there, because it seems like I'm not really seeing any kind of offensive threat, and that's the thing that is worrisome to me at this point.
At least we have the supporters section. At least we have that.
Oh, well, when they get back to greener pastures, like I said, that it will be some wind in the sails. I have no doubt about that. And after you start your season miserably on the road like that, I can sympathize with that. But maybe you just threaten the goal at some point. Like, 1 goal. Come on, man. We're 180 minutes into this thing. Like, I didn't even really see a lot of shots on goal.
29.
Look, it could be worse. You could be the Las Vegas Lights. I see they are technically last because they have a 5-goal differential. Zero goes for 5 against.
And
so
it could be a spectacular night at Torero Stadium, because that is the home opener for
May 29th, folks. May 29th.
So, you know what you would have to do to get this patch removed and not added to, because this will continue to grow. It will be down to my belly button soon if I see the effort or lack thereof that I have been seeing so far.
It's all right. But
I have too much money put into this. Literally tens of dollars. Well, I mean, at this point, and there's a shirt involved.
That would be dozens of dollars.
Oh, I'm eating.
It's embarrassing. Oh, sorry. Yeah, what is that? And also, that's great for the audio and visual when you're eating, especially crunchy things.
Yeah, great for the show. Real professional.
But the boss calls the shot, so I have to respect his decision.
That's true.
I
He's
just
nice
wanted to
with
hit
paychecks.
basketball real quick here.
Yes.
A couple things. All right, right off the top, a couple people have been talking about this. Obviously it was going to happen. He's not retiring anytime soon. But Russell Westbrook becomes the all-time leader in triple-doubles with 182.
Jesus.
Yeah, not always in a winning effort. Let's just say that. But and you know what the thing is? I was kind of torn about this. They were talking about it on Dan Patrick's show. The thing with Russ is you can never accuse him of not playing hard, but you can accuse him of playing too hard sometimes. Like, that is kind of a thing. Like, superstar players, someone that sets the record for triple doubles, sometimes he's doing too much. So I get that. He's not a great shooter. He's talented. He can get his shot off, get an open shot because he's so athletic and quick and good handling the ball. Good defender. Like I said, a guy that will give you effort all the time. And, he's on a team that's not great. Let's just be honest. But, kind of an interesting anomaly when it comes to, the rare, I would say superstar that maybe you could say actually tries too hard sometimes.
100% agree. I also see it too. Like, Westbrook might be like another Charles Barkley, a phenomenal player, just never gets that ring. But, I mean, he goes 100, 110, maybe even 120%. And like you said, it works for him, but also too, I think it works against him because this man I could easily see put up 40 a night or 40 on certain games and still lose. I'm like, how? I was like, how? You are killing it out.
It will be tough for him to get to those kind of point totals consistently just because it's a shooting game and he's not anywhere close to an elite shooter. He can be a plus shooter at times. But he's not. And that's because, like I said, he's able to get himself free against even the best defenders in the NBA because he's just that quick and athletic, smart, handling the ball, that stuff. But he's just not a great shooter, pure shooter. And it seems like to get up to these point totals, you're going to have to be like a Curry or Jamal Murray, Devin Booker, Lillard, one of these guys that can just fill it up. And sometimes they just pull it from 45 feet. And it's well, no one was going to stop that. You probably have to get a couple of those per game to get up to these unholy point totals. Even LeBron now is, when he's healthy, well, remains to be seen. But he's sort of picked that up too. Just I'm going to get 3 steps inside half court. I'm just going to heat check it and just shoot it up.
Cash.
But I think it's cool. I've been a Westbrook fan since he was at UCLA. Just a weird player as far as a fit-wise because he wasn't even really that far into his organized basketball career. I think he started playing organized basketball in freshman or sophomore year of high school. And then you end up at UCLA just by raw talent alone. He was a 2 or 3 star recruit, I think.
Did he play just one season and went to the league, or was he there for multiple years?
No, I think he played 2 or 3. I'm not positive.
Okay, so he got
because he was he wasn't. I mean, the Howland teams were all based on defense, which he quickly figured out. But the offensive capability that a guy like that would give you in college basketball is something that that UCLA era team did not care about at all. So very underutilized in that respect. But, also on a team with Love and Darren Collison. I think he was on the first or the last Jordan Farmar team. So they had some good players in there.
Was he there with the Flalo?
He was there with the Flalo, Josh Shipp, the other Shipp brother.
Kevin Love there?
Yes, he was there with Kevin Love.
There.
He was there for, I believe, 2 of the 3 Final Fours.
Yeah.
But always just been a favorite of mine, like I said, because of sort of his red acidness, yelling at fans, yelling at referees. But again, you can never question the effort. Sometimes I only question it in that, hey man, just chill. Like it's too much. Just hey, just we take it down a notch.
I've never seen someone play.
Go ahead, Nick.
Like I've never seen when someone plays so angry when they play. It's like watching him dribble. I feel like he's gonna punch the defender as he's
angry. He is angry.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's brilliant to watch, but sometimes it's just like he screws himself up.
No, look, you can't. I don't know. I can never knock an athlete for giving it their all, but yeah, you're right. Like there are times where it's just like, yeah, like maybe you could dial it down just a little bit.
Maybe we just take it to like an 85 right now. Like, you know what? We're playing Orlando. It's,
we're up 20. We're up
even...
20. There's 2 minutes left. Do you have to go down and fight for those rebounds right now? Like
no, one speed, full speed, balls to the wall.
Look, it's only nose, man.
Second.
I will never knock the guy for that. You can never question his effort. That's for sure.
Yep.
So on that note, and I know this is near and dear to CEO of the program, Nick's heart, we take a look at the standings as we get close to the playoffs, which are weirdly expanded now. And we had posited before that the NBA playoffs cannot begin until the Knicks are eliminated. But in fact, they currently hold a home playoff game. Yes, this is not a typo. This is very real. The Knicks would host a playoff series if the playoffs started today. How do you feel about that? I mean, how can you reconcile that in your mind?
I think the playoffs shouldn't start yet because the Knicks are still a 4th seed. You have to we got to keep this.
Throw it out.
Got to keep the season going. No, there's no way. Because I'm like, they don't really. I mean, granted, Julius Randle came into the season in phenomenal shape. I'm like, okay, but at no
point, give him time to fire Isaiah first, at least.
Yeah,
right? Seriously.
Yeah. I'm just like, what? How? Like, I at most possibly an 8th seed, and that's like really pushing it. But to be here as a Knicks fan, I'm like still shocked. I'm like, yes, something doesn't seem right. Something doesn't seem right here.
No, isn't it your boy Thibodeau, right? He's the coach now.
Yeah,
Dibs.
Derrick Rose is playing at not a superstar caliber, but his game has definitely improved. He's coming off the bench. He's contributing. I think for him, the 6-man role, ideally coming off the bench is a fit for him. Less minutes, doesn't put too much wear and tear on his knees because that's always an issue you have to worry about. But
yeah.
I'm like, oh man, how do you and who would they play? I'm trying to think. All right, so it's 8. The Hornets, but you still have to play.
They'd be playing the Hawks.
Right there, 4-5. But there could be some shuffling here. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I would only be at the bottom of the bracket, which Russ Westbrook, one-man revenge permanent season, still has a chance. He still has a chance just to spite everyone and get in those playoffs.
Oh man! But
he's the Albert Bell of basketball. The most talented and angry man I've ever seen.
Like, get the fuck away from me. He's like, get the fuck away from me. Oh, I just said good game. Don't touch me.
Don't talk to me. Don't even look. Did you just look at me? Did you just make eye contact with me, you piece of crap?
Yeah.
I think under the oh no, never mind. He could. So I was trying to remember how the new play-in system worked. I was saying, could he possibly get a matchup with the Nets in the first round? But actually, I don't know if he could.
Let's see, Nets to.
Yeah, it gets weird down there at the bottom
because it's 7-8 play each other. The winner plays the 2 seed. The loser plays the winner of the 9-10, and it's all weird.
It gets very convoluted there, but there is going to be some movement, and then you will have the play-in, which ESPN's already hyping up the play-in tournament, which runs for like 3 days, which I think it's only 2 games, but yeah, interesting to see.
Coverage of the play-in.
Yes, exactly. This is going to be a huge event. It's going to be big.
It's the one that brings us back.
The one that brings us back. Let's see the Celtics just sort of fall like a rock down to the bottom to where they're sort of in jeopardy. Gotta love to see that. The Nets, kind of the question mark. The Sixers, if they win, if they go in as a top seed, I mean, I feel like Embiid has got a pretty good chance for MVP. Just Harden has had an MVP season since he totally quit on his first team. That was also during this season. So for this year, I would say maybe you have to scratch him off. But in any other year, I would probably give it to him.
Sure.
And then, we'll take a look at the West here shortly. Gotta love LaMelo doing his thing. Got the Hornets out there as that 8 seed, so they're going to be in that flux area. The Hawks, I really like the Hawks, and I probably know like 3 guys on the Hawks. But I've just enjoyed the Hawks. It's all action, a lot of dunkers on that team. Obviously, Trae Young, entertaining to watch. Look, if it's Hawks Knicks, I'm sorry, I'm gonna go Hawks.
You're describing the Hawks of like the last like 15 to 20 years. It's like I feel like it's the same thing every year of like just a lot of action, a lot of exciting young dunkers, and then it's just like at least this year they're gonna make the playoffs.
But they're 7 games over 500 this year.
Yeah,
so
they are. Look, this is true. This is true. I don't know. I just feel like it's been the same thing for like 20 years.
Yeah, that is true. The Heat have the pedigree. They got all the way to the championship series last year, but haven't quite hit that stride yet. The Nets is just the question mark of, is everyone going to be healthy, wanting to play, etc. You don't know. Credit to the Sixers. I mean,
Kyrie gonna play? Is Kyrie gonna not dick around and just decide I'm not gonna play these first 2 playoff games, but I'll be back games 3, 4, 5, and possibly 6.
DNP Vision Quest. Oh, all right. Well, Kyrie, he went on a Vision Quest, so we have to respect.
No. He was actually sitting at home watching the movie Vision Quest with Matthew Modine.
It's also possible. You can't pin this guy down. Credit to him. He's a wild card, but effective when he's out there. Let's take a look at the West now. Lakers also plummeting. Ironically, Lakers and Celtics just dropping. They did beat the Suns last night. That was nice without LeBron. Satisfying. AD had a good game, but you never know if he's going to stay healthy for more than 20 minutes, which is scary. Caruso had a nice game. The Clippers, I just feel like the Clippers are going to clipper it up at some point, and there's a very real possibility they could play the Lakers in the first round, which would be terrifying for me. Everyone's saying the Lakers will win that. I don't believe that at this point. I think the Clippers right now, if it was a 7-game series, would beat the Lakers, even with whatever LeBron they get back. I'm just thinking the Clippers, as they move forward, if they were to win that series, if that happens, they're going to clipper it up at some point, and it's going to be hilarious. But the Lakers just get in. I mean, at this point, just hopefully get in. The Blazers kind of have a tough little bit of the schedule ahead of them because they have to play the Jazz and the Suns both, and they're 0-4 against them this year. Steph Curry, I mean,
he's single-handedly willing the Warriors.
He is willing them to win. I mean, the last month and a half has been absolutely batshit insane, some of the stuff that he's doing. And he's not going to win MVP on a team that gets in as 8 seed or dude, honestly, the prospect of a Warriors-Lakers play-in game is terrifying to me as well.
Yeah, it's right there.
Because
it's real.
He is so much in the zone that it kind of just we know what Steph Curry is capable of, and we're seeing peak 4 years ago Steph Curry right now. He can't miss anything. He can shoot from anywhere. It makes it look easy. I mean, they already lost Wiseman, long ago. That was their number 2 overall pick or whatever it was. And he is just keeping this team right there. So, and honest, I wouldn't be that mad. Obviously, I want the Lakers to advance and do well or even be in the playoffs at this point. But something to be said for just what that guy's doing. I think as far as MVP voting, he has to be top 5, maybe top 3, just based on this last month and a half alone.
Oh yeah, he's easily top 3. I think. I don't know who else there's not many people you can put above him. So yeah, I would say he's got to be a top 3 at this point.
I mean, Curry, like you said, it's the Curry of 4 years ago. But going into a playoff series, he's going to need the support. Ideally, and it was talked about earlier in the season with Wiggins. Like he has to be that consistent scorer, that consistent second option, especially now with Wiseman out. So he needs to at least step up his offensive game to possibly to make the Warriors even somewhat competitive without putting it all on Steph's back. He needs to at least average 20 points a game. So
he wakes up with 20 points, so you're not going to have to worry about that.
True, but I'm like with supporting cast.
Yes, they're going to maybe swallow the whistle a little bit, but this is a guy that knows how to get to the free throw line, which he's pretty much automatic at.
Yeah.
So he's going to get probably 10 there just every night. And like I said, if they play the Lakers in a play-in game, that is going to be horrendous for me personally. Like, could be emotionally devastating.
So then, Ron, my question to you as a Lakers fan, like, knowing the situation you're in now, I think we spoke about this earlier too. Like, are you really comfortable now with them being in this position, and then AD and LeBron being in the lineup? Because now you got to think it's the play-in tournament, so they're playing before the actual playoffs begin, and then the actual the series begin for them. So it's like, are you worried that the wear and tear is going to catch up to them, or is it's just rust on LeBron's part? Like, what are your thoughts behind it? I know you said too you were scared at this point to play the Clippers, but we all know the Clippers are going to be the Clippers until they prove us wrong.
Prove me wrong, Clippers. Prove me wrong. But please don't prove me wrong. If entertainment purposes only, please do not prove me wrong.
Please believe that.
No, I think if anything, it would be more of a rust factor. You saw when AD came back, he actually said he's willing to play all the back-to-backs. He's like, I've been sitting around for long enough. Like,
yeah,
problem. Like, I don't, I've just been rehabbing, but it's not like I can't just run up and down the court for 45 minutes a game. Like, I'm fine. So, unless he gets hurt, which is always a possibility. But with them two out there, yes, that does put them allegedly, entertainment purposes only, in the elite. But again, like, the way you have to run the team with LeBron and without LeBron is two totally different things. Because for LeBron to be effective, he needs to be bringing the ball up the court. He can distribute. He can rebound. He can do all the things. But as far as that big of a piece coming back into your team right before the playoffs start, that's going to be an adjustment for some guys. So that might be hard to integrate. That this will be a big test, I think, honestly. I know everyone likes to bash LeBron for whatever reason, but if they make a good playoff run, he plays well. I've never been a big LeBron hater, even before he was on the Lakers. I thought, the decision thing was super annoying. That was ridiculous. But the fact that the resume kind of speaks for itself. He was in all these finals in a row. There's a reason for that on some really, let's just be honest, like dog shit
terrible
teams.
Cavs teams. Yeah. Those early Cavs teams were so bad.
And that was all on LeBron's back. So he's capable of doing it. But it's just a matter of how healthy he is and then how quickly he can just, like, pop back in there. Like, here's the concept when LeBron is on the team. Now we got to, like, fit back into the roles around that kind of thing. So we'll see how that plays out. But it's going to be interesting. I mean, I hope the Lakers do not get in that situation where they have to get in a play-in. But it's a very real possibility.
Okay. So, all right. So before I cut out, quick, for your guys' pick, who for the Western Conference comes in as your 7th and 8th seed, and who you think is a possible dark horse for the playoffs?
So by that question, I assume you mean who wins those play-in rounds, spots, things. Ooh, right now I'll say Warriors 7, Lakers 8.
Okay.
At this point, as far as a play-in, I'm going with Curry because, I mean, it's one game. I mean, the guy's so hot out of his mind. He's dangerous. So if it is the case where they got to play in one game to get in, I'm going to take his side. Like I said, I hope the Lakers do not get in that situation, but it's very realistic. I don't see them as a dark horse going all the way. I guess I don't. It's hard to say they're a dark horse, but maybe the Nuggets, because now they're down Murray. But I love Jokic. I love watching the Joker play. For me, I believe he is the MVP right now. That's just my opinion of the entire league. So everything goes through him, and he can do everything. Like, he just makes that whole team go. So like I said, they're a 4 seed, not exactly a dark horse. But as far as like going deep in the playoffs, maybe even coming out of that West, I like the Nuggets. Looking at the East, dark horse Knicks. Screw it. Knicks. Give me the Knicks. I put my name on it.
What if they beat the Sixers? What if they beat the Sixers? Do you know the shit talking I'm going to do?
Oh, it's going to be incredible.
Oh my God. All right. Well, on that note, you guys have a great night. Yes, Ronnie, we'll see what the Loyals do. We'll see if things can turn around from here. And they just need to do better.
Yeah. Or the shirt will get longer until performance improves. But I will add to this as I see fit.
Is that shirt going to look like that infamous Cleveland quarterback jersey that fan made years ago?
Yes. At some point it could, unless I see some better performances out here, because it's embarrassing right now. But thank you to the CEO of the program, Nick, for joining us on the Corey's Market and Liquor Celebrity Hotline, your number one spot on University Avenue for check cashing, money orders, lotto. They do take EBT, and they have ice. So do check them out. Thank you, Nick. There he goes on the Corey's Market and Liquor.
What kind of ice are we talking about?
Well, inside, the cold kind, but outside, I don't know. That's up to you. If you want to go out in front of True Dental Lab, which is right behind, you might find some other things that exotic products that I'm not at liberty to endorse on this program. Real quick, we're kind of running up against time, although I don't know if anyone's behind us. So I just want to hit a couple things.
Don't believe so, but who knows?
Yeah, well, we'll just roll with it. Golf now. Rory coming back at the Wells Fargo Championship. Rory, who has been banned from the alleged Super League because of his reservations about where the money comes from, which I would probably be right there with you. I'm not a big Rory fan, although I do love the video game. Thank you, EA Pass. Third time winning this championship, and his first win since November 2019. So a little bit of a long road back. I know he's actually talked about just been pretty candid about that. He admitted he kind of got caught up in, Rory's still one of the longer hitters on the tour, but sort of got caught up in the hype of seeing DeChambeau just breaking the game, as everyone's talking about, with his giant drives.
And breaking clubs.
Breaking all kinds of stuff. Yes, I think we have a file video here. So, everyone's running up against this guy. Oh, that thing snapped off. Oh, man. Whoa. Hey, man, take it easy.
Take it easy, man.
Ricky was surprised. I'm sure that thing makes a snap when it pops. So we're talking about space age materials here. Titanium, carbon fiber, what have you. But Rory, you know what? I'll give it to him. He's on tour every weekend. Nice win for him. Also, kind of a interesting situation. You like to see, a guy that has a long-time caddy had to take a drop on the 18th hole, where he was kind of thinking about one thing, and his caddy, they have at least enough of a rapport where his caddy was like, you know what, let's think about all the options here, what you could do in this situation. Like, maybe you just hit back to the fairway, et cetera, et cetera. He talked him into taking the drop. Rory hit a nice shot into the green. The rest is history. He comes away with the trophy. So credit to him. And like I said, long road back, November 2019, for one of the bigger name golfers out there to get a win. So I'll give him props.
Look, yeah, you got to give props anybody for winning a tournament. Although I do think the kind of the funnier story of the tournament did happen. Was it Saturday morning? That's when the news broke that good friend of the show, Bryce DeChambeau. Apparently, there was a bit of a misunderstanding. He thought he did not make the cut after Friday, so he, as soon as he ends the round, he's gone on a plane back home. Turns out he made the cut. He made the cut, folks. So he had to just immediately hop on a plane, go right back around for another round Saturday morning.
Yeah, I'm going to get the picture up here. It's a pretty funny. Let's see. Yeah, so he pretty much packed up and left after Friday. He was in like around 90th place, thinking there was no way. And the weather betrayed a lot of the other golfers still going. And when he got off the plane, his agent let him know, you're around like maybe 60th place, so you might have to come back. So he had already flown back to Dallas, of course, on his, looks like Instagram. Just doing a workout in Dallas, and I'm going to be back tomorrow, like playing it off like that. And the guy actually hit him in the comments. He flew all the way back to Dallas to work out instead of finding a gym in Charlotte. And he just said, no, LOL, no, I thought I missed the cut. So he flew back and actually had a pretty good round Saturday. Kind of got, back into the mix there. But alas, Rory did win. But that's our guy, DeChambeau. Always making it interesting. The lovable lummox of golf.
Look, he's got a Gold's Gym in Dallas that he's really loyal to. Just wanted to go, get some curls in before round 3. So,
just get a good pump. You want to look good on the cameras. Once you're on network TV, you don't want to be looking like a chump out there. Real quick, too, we'll just hit NASCAR briefly. Truex getting the win. At Too Tough to Tame. I love that slogan. Too Tough to Tame. And Darlington, classic NASCAR. I like the throwback paint schemes that some of the guys were rocking too.
Those are nice.
But I don't know if this is Truex's first win of the year, but it seems like everyone's winning for the first time this year.
No, this Truex is the only one that has won multiple times. This is his third win of the year, actually.
Oh, well, credit to him.
But he just dominated wire to wire. I was over at my parents' house watching that race yesterday. He didn't have the pole, but it seems like he got into first by like lap 4 and just never gave it up. Won all the stages. Car. Yeah, he just had the best car. It wasn't even a question. I think third and fourth place were like 20 seconds behind him, something crazy like that. Like he was just running away from everybody. So big shout out to him. Like Ronnie said, they had some of the cars were painted in throwback colors, looked real nice. I did appreciate those. Overall, pretty fun race at Darlington. Definitely one of the weird tracks. Lots of I know drivers have said that's like actually one of the hardest tracks in the run because it's just like the wind in there is really weird. Like you have to hang up really high to the wall, but then the wall is also pulling you towards it, but also pushing you down. So it's a weird track. Led to a lot of kissing of the wall by a lot of cars this weekend, but good race.
It still always blows my mind when you watch that too, because like anyone that's driven down the freeway and you see the people that are like really nervous getting like 4 feet from the wall, these guys get up to like 3 inches from the wall and it's like nothing to them.
Going 200 miles an hour.
And if they don't get that close, they're pissed off. Like
exactly.
That bothers them. So always exciting, especially on a track like that, to see just how insane these guys actually are. One more piece of news, because we do have to get to the fight doctor. Had a nice fight weekend. A little bit of controversy in the horse racing world. And we know Medina Spirit did win the Kentucky Derby, but has tested positive for an anti-inflammatory, it's corticosteroid. Not an anabolic steroid, but I don't know what they're doing with the second sample. I haven't heard about that. But
they're still investigating.
Yeah, they're still looking into that, which is, and usually, again, used as not a like totally performance enhancing thing, but he did fail the urine test afterwards. What a job also being the urine collector for these athletes. I can only imagine. But
gotta love what you do.
Gotta love what you do. I do it for the love of the game. So he is obviously Baffert is still trying to get him in the second leg of the Triple Crown. But remains to be seen if he's going to be allowed to do that. We have a file photo here of Medina Spirit. This is
baseless accusations. That's what I look at. That look at that horse.
These allegations are completely untrue. I mean,
So
he's
yeah,
just looking in the best shape of his life. He showed up to camp looking great.
right?
All the other ones have done it. Barry Bonds,
This horse out here just doing curls and push-ups and pull-ups right before the race. Just look, he's athletic.
doing pull-ups on a stop
Yeah.
sign, which I've never seen a horse do. Probably not super wise, but look, he's just an athlete. He's chiseled, and people are just giving him a hard time about this.
Look, he's naturally built. It's good genetics, all right?
Racehorses pee 5 gallons at a time. I guess just get in there with the scooper if you can and get enough for a sample.
But yeah, so again, like Roddy said, it remains to be seen. They're investigating the second test, second whatever you want to call it, second gathering of pee. But in the meantime, the win has been stripped from Medina Spirit. Bob Baffert has actually received a ban from Churchill Downs. I saw, and he's been. There we go. He's been making his rounds on social on the media. I know he was on Dan Patrick this morning. He's been on like Fox News, other outlets, whatever. Claiming his innocence, saying things like that some. I don't know if he said another man or another horse came in and like peed on the hay that his horse ate, and that's what's causing these. I don't know, but
there was a second pier.
That's right. Yes.
We don't know where the stream came from. There wasn't enough cameras down in the paddock.
This rogue stream.
Remains to be seen, but yes, of course, performance-enhancing drugs just affecting all of our sports. I think we do need to take some time right now to talk to the fight doctor because of a big boxing event and a little, fight night on UFC. A couple things going on. So let's fire up the fight doctor and let's check in.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. The heavyweight champion of the world.
Real quick, also, sorry, fight doctor, before we get into this, as we mentioned about the betting, as far as it pertained to that Kentucky Derby, everyone that won on that horse is, they're not taking the money back, right? There's no way, because they probably already degenerately bet that on something else. So really the only people getting screwed are the people that bet on the second place horse.
Oh no. And that horse was going like, what was it, 26-1 when the race started, something like that?
Yeah.
Ooh. Well, hey, look, if they bet place, they still got some money out of it, so that's something.
But I digress. Fight doctor. I don't know if you want to start with the boxing. That was the big event of the weekend, or the UFC. You choose, and I will get us there.
Let's start. We'll just run through the UFC real quick. So the UFC did have a fight night, a nice little fight night on ESPN. Decent card, couple good fights, some bit snoozers, but that's just kind of building up to they do have a lightweight, heavyweight fight pay-per-view coming up this upcoming weekend. So that's to be expected with these shows. The main event, we did have Marina Rodriguez taking on Michelle Waterson. Look at that.
That's a hot Cheeto. That is a hot Cheeto heat map right there.
A
lot of damage.
Waterson took quite a bit of a beating there. A little back and forth at times, but it was kind of an example of a power puncher versus a point fighter. Waterson is a karate expert. Most karate fighters go for that kind of point fighting style, whereas Rodriguez was just out there to knock her out. So Rodriguez gets the win, unanimous decision. Nice win for her. Didn't think Waterson looked terrible, but I just think she just looked overpowered, overmatched in this one. So again, good for Rodriguez. I'm kind of interested to see how that'll play out because both these women were fighting one weight class up where they normally fight, so I don't know how that's going to affect the rankings, if it's going to affect the rankings at all. But good fight there. Just the other fight I want to touch on real quick.
Oh, dear.
Donald Cerrone getting TKO'd in the first round by Alex Morono. Morono, again, taking the fight on short notice because Diego Sanchez went crazy and got released by the UFC. Cerrone he looked bad. He hasn't looked good for quite a while now, but you could justify his last 4 or 5 losses saying, look, he was fighting some top level guys, blah, blah, blah. Alex Morono, not a top level guy.
Not at all.
Morono's probably not a top 10 fighter, and he TK'd Sorino on one. Please, Cowboy. Look, I know fighters have a tough time hanging it up, and I'm usually not one to tell somebody they shouldn't be doing their job, but please hang it up, man. This is like, and I also didn't realize how long I've been watching Cerrone for. Like, I was thinking, like, oh, big fan of him since he fought WEC. WEC shut down like 11 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was watching him for several years in the WEC. So it's been a long time. Like, this isn't Donald Cerrone anymore. It's not. It's a shell of himself. And I just like, please retire. Please.
And there's no, yeah. I liked your idea originally when the fight was scheduled of both guys leave town match.
Loser leaves town and winner also leaves town.
Also leaves gracefully. Yeah. But it's just unfortunate for a guy that has really just done a ton for the sport. Just been a name guy out there and just going down on a fight night co-main event. It's just to a guy that was a fill-in guy. Mm-hmm. It's just like dwindling off into the sunset. There's no like glory here at all.
No.
If that's all he ever wants to do and that's all he knows what to do, like he'll go crazy if he doesn't have the fight, maybe that's something, but it's just sad. Like, honestly, at this point, it's a big bummer to a guy that was, and really like a fan favorite guy too.
Oh, yeah.
Like for forever. It's a bummer to see this play out like this.
Yeah, he was just a dude that was an exciting fighter and a dude that fought like for a 2 or 3 year period, fought like every other month. It was just like, yeah, like I signed up for this fight, and Dana's like, oh well, somebody else, somebody got injured. All right, I'll take that fight. Sure, why not?
There. I'm ready. Yeah.
But yeah, it's just this isn't him anymore, and it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking when you see, it's bad enough watching your favorite, not be what they once were, but that's father time. Like, you understand it's going to happen, but when they don't see that's what's happening. That's when it's like, oh man,
really just like, oh man, you got to stay out of it. You got to like, shoot, man, you could be like a ringside guy, like your name,
coach.
Yeah, you can do anything in that sport, but it's just like, just walk away while you could still walk, bro. Like, don't like, it's just a bummer, man. This guy was like one of the marquee guys, like, not like the top guy, but just like a name that was always up there. Like, everyone knows who Cowboy Cerrone is. And to see it just sort of like flicker out like this is just like, man, it's hard to watch.
Yeah, he's a guy that never won a title, but was always like, if you could not even beat, like if you could compete with this guy, like, you're legit. You're one of the top. You're a top probably 5 fighter in your division. So, yeah, unfortunately, we'll see if Cowboy decides to hang it up or not. I certainly hope he does. But like I said, UFC moving forward now, they're going to have we'll talk more about it on Friday. But again, like I said, a fight for the vacant lightweight title between Charles Oliveira and Michael Chandler coming up this Saturday. Looking forward to that. We'll recap a little more on Friday. But in other fight news this weekend, we did, of course, have a big boxing match. Canelo Alvarez taking on Joey Jojo Jr. Shabadoo, as Ronnie likes to call him here. And Canelo just showing his class. I mean, you and I were kind of texting during the fight. I thought Billy Joe showed out well. I thought Saunders showed out a lot better than I thought he would. But it was never really a threat. Like, he won a couple rounds, sure, but Canelo was just outclassing him. And you could even see by the end, I think I texted or I tweeted in the 8th round, like, Saunders is on his stool, like, looking defeated, and Canelo looks like he could go another 15 rounds.
He's just ramping up at that point. And I thought Saunders at first, he was like great. I hesitate to say heel, but he was embracing that role.
Sure.
Sort of, he does the hands down, do the ollie shuffle, like the that didn't hurt me thing. So I thought he was trying to do a little too much of that, maybe in like the first 3 rounds. Then he sort of settled into where he could pick his spots to do that. Like, his game is, he wants to get in the other guy's head. just sort of mess with them. Canelo, as we came to find out, was not really prone to that. But
no.
After that, I think he sort of settled down a little bit more to where he picked his spots to do some of the troll stuff, and he started getting some points off of him, hitting him a little bit. He is kind of awkward with the southpaw. He's kind of a hard guy to hit. So he kind of had a rally there, rounds like 4 through 6 into 7. But Canelo, I thought at the beginning, really was not into playing the games, and he was like, I'm not going to go for all the glory here. He was racking up some body shots. Saunders built a little more confidence when he wasn't totally hurt or anything like that. Started to get some points off of him, but you could see like at the beginning, like these are going to add up, like these body shots. That stuff is going to occasional like a jab to the face, things like that he couldn't get out of the way of. He seemed game, whatever, but by the time that 8th round came around, you could see the conditioning of Canelo, just like a champion's pedigree. And not to say, Saunders was a champion, had not lost. So he knows what it's all about too, but it was just the difference in class kind of showed itself. And then, that 8th round, it was just like, man, he is real hurt. And he is hanging on. He is hanging on for dear life. And with a huge cut under his eye, probably maybe a broken bone, I don't know, under there. But,
it is a broken bone, yes.
Yeah. He was still trying to, gear himself back up for it. But like Tyler said, I think you really said it best. Just like Saunders, he was more game than I thought he was going to be through this point of the fight. But Canelo is just like hitting his stride right now. And Saunders is like wobbly right now. Like this probably needs to come to an end.
Yeah, and eventually it looked like his corner called it for him. I mean, I won't knock Saunders. I'm sure he wanted to get back out there and fight, but when you can't see out of one of your eyes, that makes it really difficult. It makes it difficult fighting regular Joe, let alone the best fighter pound for pound in the world.
I was going to say, when you can see 2020 against Canelo, it's still not easy. Like, you're still going to get hit a lot.
So, eventually Saunders is cornered, called the fight. I think it was an 8th round TKO. Canelo, again, just proves why he's the number 1 pound for pound fighter in the world. Also, I will say this. If you guys ever – I would recommend watching Canelo's fight, not just because of how great he is, but holy shit, that man's entrances are hype as hell. I told you, the stream that I was watching, when Canelo's entrance first started, they put it on mute and started playing "I Just Had Sex" by the Lonely Island. But
with the cat.
With the head bobbing cat. But by the time that song even ended, like Canelo's entrance was only halfway through, so they just put on the real entrance, and I was like, that crowd was going nuts for that entrance, and I was like, dude, I'm getting hyped on it. Like, I don't even know what song they're singing, what they're saying, but this is amazing stuff.
It was hype, and you know what? Also, I did love to see. It was at Jerry World. Shout out to Justin. I see in the comments here, your boy, Jera. But 70,000 plus out there. Obviously, big Canelo support, being close to Mexico. But and this guy basically coming in knowing he's going to be like the troll, the heel, whatever. And he wore it pretty well. But Canelo, I think Canelo's actual interest with the band, the singers, that alone probably took like a good 12 minutes. The second song that came on was El Rey, which I loved. Classic, straight up banger. Shout out to Vicente. But and then there was a part of me too when he was like he wasn't really doing like the big bopping and dancing moves like Saunders was, but he was like moving a little bit, just sort of working the crowd. I was like, dude, what if he just like slips on this like glass stage and blows his knee out or something? There's gonna be a riot. Like, there's no way anyone is getting out of this stadium alive. So I'm glad that didn't happen. But in a little bit of I'll probably have to hit it with a walking it back. Billy Joe, unfortunately, did drop this, which in hindsight, yeah.
Yeah, he had said this after it was another fight some time ago about one fighter that got hurt and took a knee and they called the fight because of that. So there you see Saunders saying everything it would take for him to quit a fight. Turns out he only needs one broken eye socket. Actually, that's all he needs for that fight to be ended.
Yeah, so that's a little bit of a tough look. Like I said, he was game, and he actually rallied there, maybe won a couple rounds. So I thought it was going to be more of a walkover. I did think it was going to be either a stoppage or a decision. He's so awkward. I mean, credit to him. He makes the target look really weird with the way he moves. Sometimes he just has his head down for like 45 seconds, like lunging, sort of like doing weird stuff like that. And then, southpaw. So just kind of a hard guy to like really get a square shot on. But I mean, if you're talking about Canelo, there's a reason why this guy is like pound for pound, probably the best out.
Yeah, and now Canelo's gotten all the belts in his weight class. So I don't even know what's out there for him at this point in time. I don't know. Maybe he's going to fight like Anthony. He'll put on 100 pounds to fight Anthony Joshua or Tyson Fury, maybe.
Well, apparently that Fury fight is going to be announced within the week. That's what I saw. So
yeah, but didn't they say last week it was going to be announced during the week too?
Yeah, well, you don't know. And also credit to Tyson Fury's. I say
shirt he was wearing? Oh man,
everything he was wearing. I don't even know if I would say drip or skip. I don't even know. That was something. That was something.
That wasn't drip. That was droop.
That was a drip and a droop and something else because he had like pointy purple Italian loafers on with a like halfway buttoned up breezy shirt. That was a whole thing to behold.
Gypsy King, baby.
Gypsy King. I mean, he was Gypsy Kinging super hard. And they actually showed him in the crowd at one point, booed the hell out of him. Of course, had the gratuitous Jera shot from his owner's box, which I think he actually had a pretty warm reception. But, look how many people he had over at his house.
True words.
Yeah, we'd like to announce 1 week from today that we will be announcing the week of the announcement for the fight. That's pretty much how boxing goes.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah. Lock that in. Stone Cold Stunner, lock of the week.
Of the year.
Of the year, of the century. But that's pretty much all I had. Shout out to Tebow, I guess. Jags pretty much locked up Hard Knocks this year by signing Tebow to a contract as a tight end. All right, we'll see.
I'm telling you, dude, just wait till he gets into the Super Bowl and they have a play at the 1 yard line and they line him up in the Wildcat, and then he gets stuffed 3 yards short of the end zone.
No, he won't. He won't be stuffed. It's going to be like the end of Goon, where he's just taking shots to the face. He will do whatever it takes to push that over the line. It's Tebow, man.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, Tebow has like the weirdest career. Like, he has the craziest career when you look at it. Like this amazing college football career, and he's telling like everybody's like, well, like yeah, you could maybe play in the NFL, but not a quarterback. And he's like, no, I'm going to be a quarterback. And then he sucks at being quarterback, but he's still like winning games. So he's like, no, I'm going to keep playing quarterback. And then he keeps sucking. So eventually he's out of the league. So he goes and plays minor league baseball. And he does that for a bit, and he realizes he's not can't even make it to the Mets main roster. And he's like, well, okay, I'll go play tight end.
Look, to his credit, yes, it was not any kind of long-term viable NFL quarterback. We saw that. But did have some memorable moments there before he kind of washed out of that. Worked his way up to what, AAA? Yes, it's the Mets, but
it's
the
impressive.
guy, he's athletic talent. I don't see any kind of long-term prognosis here as how old he is now, as a tight end converted. I very much doubt that he is going to make the team. But look, and Justin said they're not eligible for Hard Knocks. Break the format, HBO. Break the format. Get them on there. The Tebow getting cut episode will break all the ratings records.
Oh man.
So tug the heartstrings.
That's true point. True point.
You're right. But that was just one other little side note I wanted to hit there.
Good luck to him. I wish Tebow no ill will. Good luck to him.
Yeah. God bless him. I mean, literally, God has blessed him.
Literally,
so
yes, he has been.
That's way out of my hands, but I'm just supporting that movement that's going on. But thank you for joining us, hitting us up in the comments. Thank you, CEO Nick, for joining us. Landon, please, can we get some kind of effort, some heart, some blood and guts out there on the field? Maybe some goals. That would be great. Otherwise,
we'll have that recap for us on Friday.
Oh, the shirt will continue. But that's all I got.
No, thank you so much for tuning in. Definitely always appreciate the comments. Thank you, Nick, so much for calling in. We'll be back here on a most likely a light Wednesday. But not seeing anything big on the horizon. I don't know, maybe the NHL playoffs will be finalized by then. Who knows? But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be back here on Wednesday. We love you guys. You know the drill. Keep the fire.
Keep fire.
At the buzzer.